All right. What's up, everyone? Today is September 6th, 2025. I'm going to be checking out price action for the entire week. I'm going to be reviewing everything in detail. Guys, back again another day in this stupid room, dude. Oh my gosh. Anyway, guys, I'm just going to be backtesting the whole week. Watch as little or as much as you want of this. I really don't care. I'm going to be backtesting it, though, and, it's better to backtest it not alone than doing it alone, because I would be doing this anyways. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and open up NQ and pull up ES, and let's just start moving, start looking around. So, this week was a pretty solid classic expansion week. Let's actually make a new folder for the week. Yo, what up? How's it going, Hyper? Dude, I'm doing good. Just back at it again. Once again, I would be doing this live stream anyways, reviewing the whole week's price action. I'll be reviewing it on my own if I didn't live stream it, so might as well live stream it, No point in not doing it. So, but yeah, I'm doing good, dude. Just one day at a time here. Moving along. So, making a new folder for Saturday, September 6th, 2025. There we go, Saturday. And let's just look at the weeks objectively. Let's see what happened, what we can learn from it, and yeah. I do think this was a classic expansion week. You can see here that Monday, let's see. So here's the true week open, and you can see that manipulation occurs right here. We end up getting S&T with not the actual low of the previous week. Actually, it might actually be. Wait a second. Yo, it's actually S&T with previous week's low. That's crazy. I didn't even realize that. So yeah, we have S&T with previous week's low right here. You see that? So I thought it was just a partial S&T, but it's a full. I thought it was a partial previous week's low S&T, meaning not the actual low of the week, but a low within the week. But no, this is a actual previous week's low S&T, right? You can see here, and I'm really liking having the S&P on the screen on the right, and I'm considering doing it where have S&T and YM. I mean, this is a super clean way to be able to look at the charts. And then I'll just drag this over a little bit. It's already going to be smaller, so this is perfect, right? So yeah, anyway, you can see we had S&T with previous week's low, and then I'm guessing we also swept out previous week's low as well. Yep, we did, right? See that? Sweep of previous week's low. So, this was the manipulation, right? We had a classic expansion week. What is a classic expansion week, you might be wondering? Let's start out by going over that. It's in the Discord, right? It's basically, we have Monday manipulates, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday expand, and then Friday retraces. And yeah, I mean, this is one of the most textbook classic expansion weeks I've seen in a while. We can pull this up in the Discord here. Let's close out of all this. But yeah, very, very textbook classic expansion week. Come on, why is it not letting me exit out? Okay, alright. So, anyway, let's see here. So, it should be under daily profiles. Or no, weekly profiles. And yeah, very typical classic expansion week. Monday manipulates into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday expand, Friday retraces. And yeah, here you can see an example of this. So let's save this, put it in our folder for the week, right? And yeah, let's just put it in here. So Actually, let's screenshot it like this. Bullish classic expansion week. And you might be wondering, what do you mean? Like, or like, can you show exactly how it was? And I will, right? So, bullish classic expansion weekly profile. Monday manipulates into a key level. So here you can see, here's the start of the week, by the way. Week starts here. We push down into let's see here. Trading is too tough, man. I blew 5 accounts in the past 1 month, and now it's too much. It's affecting me, dude. It's so hard, and I'm not here to say like it's right for everyone. It's not right for everyone. And I was just talking about this with my dad, and he was just like, you need to tell your subscribers that like trading is not the only way, because the reality is trading is really going to be for those brutal, ruthless 1%er, the 0.01 percenters that are willing to go through absolute hell. And for everyone else, you need to realize trading is not the only way to make money in this life, right? And I was talking with my dad, and he's like, you got to teach him like there's other things you can do. You can start businesses, right? You can do all these other things. Trading, it's great. It is one of the most it is probably the most rewarding skill on the planet, actually. But you have to traverse through the fire for years, right? And here, I'm going to make this big. You have to traverse through this terrible, crappy, sucky situation for years and years. It's a literal jungle. You're walking through the Amazon rainforest. You have to dodge the poison dart frogs. You gotta dodge all these, and it's like most people will never be able to do that. And so I was talking with my dad, and it's like, don't get too hard on yourself. If you feel like trading is just too much, it's getting overwhelming, just understand that you can either A, decide trading is for you, keep going, which, that's totally valid, but it's just understand it's going to be stupidly hard. Or B, understand that there's so much opportunity in this life. There's so many ways that you can make money. There's so many ways that you can be successful. And it's kind of crazy because I don't know if you saw the guy on Twitter that passed away by suicide, and it's just like, I feel so bad because, like, I mean, people need to realize that trading is just actually stupidly hard. Like, people were trying to do the hardest thing in the world, and you're like, oh my gosh. And I feel bad because, like, people, like, guys, trading is not the only way. And I feel bad because, like, literally, there's a guy on Twitter that killed himself because of trading. And it's like, guys, understand that trading, it is one of the most rewarding things in the world, but it's not going to be for everyone. And don't ruin your life over it, right? So figure out what's right for you. Be thoughtful. Don't feel like you have to make the money back from the markets. And you know what I'm saying? Like, these markets are brutal. They're ruthless. And so you just have to decide, like, is it really something you want? Like, acknowledge that if you do want to be a trader, you have to be stupidly delusional. Like, there's no other way. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't think it was right for everyone, but it is one of the most rewarding things if you can make it to the other side, which is, not for everyone. So, like I said, I mean, life's a constant learning experience. You got to decide, what do you think, you went through it, right? But you can learn. You can say, okay, now I know this isn't, it's never live and lose. It's live and learn, right? So don't feel like you're a failure because you messed or lost an account, right? Losing an account is nothing, dude. You're learning. You have to fail. The best, most successful people failed in thousands and thousands of different ways. But they just needed one that ended up working out for them. And bro, the more times you fail, the more closer you're going to be to finding that one that is right for you, right? So it might not be trading. I'd be lying if I said trading was easy and it was for everyone. It's not, right? It's not. It's just not. It is literally only 0.01% of people are ever going to become traders. Like, genuinely. It's so stupidly hard. But that doesn't mean that there's not something out there that is right for you, right? So just keep going, man. Keep trying. There's so much opportunity in this world. There's so much ways to make money. And you just got to keep going. So hopefully that was helpful to you. But, like, don't be too hard on yourself. You're trying to do literally the hardest thing in the world. Gotta give yourself some credit for how far you've come. You know what I mean? Okay, back to what we were doing. It really isn't. Yeah, for real, Haney. You're impressive, man. You're impressive. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But the main thing is persistence. Never give up. Keep believing that there's hope for you, because there is. You just got to keep trying and failing until you find the thing that is right for you. And that's just the reality of it, right? And there is something out there that's right for you, so you just got to keep going. You were talking like Walter Jr. Bro, the guy from Breaking Bad, the kid, the frick? How? What? No. Hold up. I'm talking like Walter Jr. What? No way, bro. Wait a second. How? Nah, genuinely, how? Bro, dude. What? It does not make any sense, bro. What are you talking about? What up, everyone? There's a lot of people here now. But yeah, anyway, we're going to be reviewing the week. Bro, explain. You're going to need to back yourself up with that one, because I don't see it, dude. I don't know. That does not make sense to me. I mean, it kind of looked like him, but it's not like, that was not talking like him. Alright, we're going to review the week. We're going to review price action. Like I said, very textbook classic expansion week, guys. I mean, Monday manipulates, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday expand, and you can see here how textbook this profile is, right? Let me pull this up. What up, MGS? Right? See how Tuesday will push into a key level, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday expand, and then Friday retraces. It's exactly what we had going on here. We also had sequential S&T with the previous week's low. But the cool thing about trading, guys, is if you do decide that it is for you, which for me, I have, and I would take trading to the grave because I know these markets are algorithmic. It is the most rewarding skill on the planet. Like, genuinely, like, once you can make it to the other side, which I believe I will, it is the most rewarding skill on the planet, 100%. I mean, you're literally printing money. You're literally printing money from these markets, right? So, with every tribulation, there's an equivalent. There's a benefit on the other side, but it doesn't come without that difficulty, right? It is this is the hardest thing in the world, but it is the most rewarding thing in the world if you did make it to the other side, which I'm not saying. It's not saying it's easy. It's not. It's just not. It's just not. It's not easy. You're literally competing against all the best hedge funds, computer algorithms, like literally every smart person on the planet. And not only do you have to beat like all of them, like genuinely, guys, you have to be so delusional to be a trader. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's pretty stupidly hard, right? But I personally think, like, I know these markets are perfect and they're moving perfectly. I'm never gonna give up, but I'm just saying it's not for everyone. It's what I'm trying to say, right? Watch your stream back. What? I'm not gonna watch. I'll watch, maybe watch it after, but dude, I don't see it, man. I'm not gonna lie. I don't see the Walter Jr. Dude, I don't see it. Anyway, Monday, 18 o'clock. No, bro, dude, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't know. I don't know what you're seeing, but I don't see it. Bro, you don't need to spam it. I can tell. I can see. I can see. You said the same thing. You don't need to say it 5 times. Oh man, true week open, right? Bro, how? No, genuinely. Can you please pull up a clip of Walter Jr. and explain how I'm talking like Walter Jr.? Like, genuinely. Bro, that does not make any sense. What? Yo, what up, Gary? How are you, man? But, anyway, let's continue on with this classic expansion week outline, right? Pretty clearly, Monday manipulates down. We have, let's see what kind of key level we had. We had, I think it was a 1 hour gap here. Yeah, look at this. 1 hour BPR essentially. This was our key level. I'm not, well, maybe you can consider it this. I don't know, there's lots of different ways you could do the same thing. Let's look at that image again, right? 1 hour discount PD array. I know, this one's not that obvious. I'm going to get rid of it for now. And anyway, let's just map out this week, right? We had Monday, manipulate. We get previous week's low SMT. We'll figure out the key level after we mark this up. But yeah. Monday pushes down. Monday manipulates. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday expand. And then Friday retraces. So, very textbook classic expansion week. Let's go ahead and save this here, right? And yeah. Here, actually, let's just screenshot this and let's, yeah, let's make a note of this. Classic expansion week. Monday manipulates, and then Tuesday through Thursday expands. Friday retraces, right? So, okay, let's try and figure out what key level we ended up using. So, we had, let's see here. Honestly, I kind of like this 4 hour rejection block, because this is like really obvious, and you can see on the S&P, we end up holding it, and on NAS, we sweep it. And I love those. I love those kinds of situations, right? You could also consider this a 4 hour PPR. I mean, I think the most obvious one for me is going to be this rejection block. So I'm going to mark this out as a 4 hour rejection block. Maybe you want to do it as a 1 hour rejection block, to be honest. That actually might make more sense, I'm not going to lie. Wait, let's look at this. No, I'm just going to do 4 hour. It says I could do greater, right? Yeah, let's do 4 hour. Let's do 4 hour rejection block. This is the most obvious one for me, so that's what I'm going to use. Once again, why? Because this is like textbook Phoenix model, but instead of but I'd be waiting for a lower time frame change in state of delivery. What do I mean by that? Well, I have a 4-hour key level. It's a rejection block, so I wait for an aligned time frame. 15-minute change in state of delivery. So let's drop down. Wow, this is so interesting. Yeah, 4-hour rejection block. You know, I would think this 15-minute change state delivery would be good, but clearly it wasn't. So this is interesting. Hang on. So let's drag down this occupancy here, 30%. Okay, 4-hour rejection block, S&T with previous week's low. Once again, this is all stuff you can map out in real time, right? We're below the true week open. We end up getting S&T with previous week's low. And let's see. I guess once again, okay, here's a note that I have about this actually. Note how we wick through it and then we close higher, but it's just not super obvious, right? Not a super obvious CISD and no internal sweep. You see that? Okay, so now, where is the obvious CISD? That's the question. Well, I mean this, maybe this. I don't know. I don't know if I'd consider this obvious, but we'll mark it out. I'm not saying that this is for sure what I would do, but I'm just taking note of it, right? You basically, honestly, I would just use this for bias for the week, right? I'm not necessarily saying I'd use it to take a trade with this, but this is going to be helpful for bias. Also, I'm not even going to lie, guys. This is an amazing inverse value gap. Like, if you... Okay, let's talk about this inverse value gap, because this is clean, right? We had previous week's low S&T, then we were holding a lower time frame rejection block. We end up inversing this. Man, I bet someone banked on this. This is such a higher R trade, but I think it's pretty good, right? 15-minute inversion. Look at that. And then you could target... I mean, you could honestly target... You could target back to the true week open. That's actually smart. Look at that. Take this as an inverse value gap off the low. Once again, obviously I scale out, but I'm just showing... Look at that. Kind of cool, right? And then this is all, if I measure this out here, giant liquidity pool here, right? So you could take some off here. Note how that's the first area we stop, right? There's always a reason for why the market does what it does. Always a reason. So... there we go. Yeah, I like this personally. I know this. I know this. You could consider this external gap, but with the previous week's low SMT, I think you could have conviction in this. Previous week's low SMT with 15-minute IPG. And let's actually put this in a specific day. So this was Tuesday at 13 o'clock. So let's go put this in Tuesday. So 13 o'clock, IPG, 15-minute. Not super obvious, but still. But you could get very precise with this because we have this 15-minute rejection block, and check out this, right? Check this out. This 15-minute rejection block, and then maybe 1 minute change in state. And because we have previous week's low SMT, you know this is going to be super high probability. So 15-minute rejection block. Oh, whoops. And wow, look at this rejection block. Look at how perfectly it holds price. It's crazy. So I'd say this 1 minute change state delivery, it becomes obvious. So I would consider this. I'd probably enter on the retest of the wick. So I'm going to draw a little white line, show that that's where I'd enter. So 15-minute rejection block. And then if we measure out standard deviations of this, we tap OTE perfectly, right? Wow, that's crazy. Guys, these markets are perfect. Oh my gosh. I am genuinely obsessed with these markets. Wow. Yeah, it's not always easy to, catch live, but it is perfect. So you could target these highs here. Well, actually, you know what? Look at how the 8th standard deviation lines up with this high. You could actually maybe target that. I know none of these trades are realistic, but I just like making observations and then going back, reviewing, and then, yeah. So what would this be? This would be like we have SMT with this rejection block. Hey, what up? You're back. What up, man? Yeah. We have SMT with this rejection block. Mark the next POI plex. What? Oh man, look. But yeah, anyway, we're getting in on this buy model here. And bang, back up there. So this would be a 15-minute rejection block. The reason this 15-minute rejection block is nice is because this is the reject. Ooh, check this out. Actually, this is so clean. No. This is actually our Are you confident enough that your strategy is legit? It's not. I don't trade a strategy. I trade common sense. I trade the market seeks liquidity. It's going to. There's buy side and sell side liquidity. The market's gonna. There's people. People are going to buy back above old highs, sell below old lows. This is just human psychology, right? So all I do is I look for an entry within one of my four models. Inverse value gap, change state of delivery, flow state, which is framing the whole model itself, and then just like a regular 2022 fair value gap after we get displacement. And all I'm doing is targeting old highs, lows, and consolidations. Trading is so, at its core, it is just pairing orders. It's providing liquidity for where someone else is going to get liquidated. That is it. That's trading. So my strategy is not, I hate it when people say, are you sure your strategy is legit? Bro, it's just common sense. It's just how these markets move. It's not a strategy. There's no one strategy works. It's all about risk management, and I guess it's not like one strategy doesn't work. It's just risk management, right? Risk management and target and providing liquidity. That's it. Guys, strategies. There's no strategy. These markets, it's not, the strategy is the fact that you are providing liquidity for where someone else is getting stopped out. That is that is trading. That is the strategy. Anything that doesn't obey to that rule is not trading, it's gambling, right? Any strategy that doesn't understand that concept is not trading. So why is this rejection block so nice? Why is this rejection block so nice? Because this is the rejection block that took previous week's low, right? It's a very specific 15-minute rejection block. This 15-minute rejection block, it's just very obvious. This 15-minute rejection block took previous week's low with previous week's low SMT. It's a very, very specific rejection block. So guys, right? Here, let's draw this out. Let's actually start out by just marking this out, right? This rejection block is very, very specific. Is very, very specific. It is the wick that took out previous week's low with previous week's low SMT, meaning it is going to be a very strong rejection block, right? Let's go ahead and screenshot that. So that's how we know what rejection block to use, because this 15-minute rejection block comes with sweep of liquidity and SMT. So you guys might be already realizing this is a Phoenix model, right? Where you literally just enter at the rejection block, stop loss below the low, and that's Phoenix model. That is it. Phoenix model is so stupidly simple, right? So this was on Tuesday. Let's put this in Tuesday. This rejection block is incredibly high probability. So 15-minute rejection block, we sweep out previous week's low with S&T. So now, Phoenix model, right? Phoenix model is just entering at the rejection block. So this is the regular Phoenix model, where you enter at the rejection block. It's so simple, actually. It's crazy. So this is regular Phoenix model. Holy. No, that's actually insane. Oh my gosh. No way. Okay, I just probably target the Monday 18 o'clock. But holy, it's so simple. Phoenix model is so simple. Now then again, you'd be very close to your stop loss, but yeah, wow. And then back to the True Week Open. So this is a Phoenix model, 11:15 a.m. Phoenix model with sequential SMT, right? Why is it sequential SMT? Because it's with previous week's low. I don't need the quarterly theory indicator to figure that out. I don't need all that fancy stuff. I can just see, okay, we have SMT with previous week's low, so it's a higher probability SMT. I don't need the quarterly theory indicator. I don't need that. So yeah, once again, I just use common sense here. So let's go ahead and screenshot this. This is a 11:15 Phoenix model on the 15-minute, right? Using a 15-minute rejection block. Can you tell me how to find strong OB by giving some examples on the chart? Yeah, for sure, bro. So strong OBs are going to be whenever a down close candle comes before a giant move higher, right? If it's a really obvious giant move higher, those are going to be the strongest OBs, right? These OBs are going to be the strongest. It's a very specific. It's hard to deny how specific these OBs are going to be because it is the down close candle before this giant move higher. This is very, very specific OB. You cannot deny how specific, like objectively, everyone sees this on their charts. Everyone sees this OB on their charts. It's very, very specific. This down close candle before this giant move up. And so let's go through some examples, right? So, like this would probably be a good OB, right? This is the down close candle before this move up. So I mark this out. I don't know if this is going to hold. I actually have no idea. Okay, we don't actually come back to it. That was a bad example, but there's like, okay, I'll give you a good example that I know for sure worked out, right? I'm going to need to, okay. So, wait, hang on. Let's see. It's all about context and liquidity, like this one, right? See how this down close candle came before this giant move up? It's within the context. It's the important part of this, by the way. It's in the context that we're already within a higher time frame buy model. That's very, very important. We need to be within the context of a higher time frame buy model. And so once again, OBs, like this stuff's not always going to work. It's about context and liquidity, right? The market doesn't care about a specific OB, but the OB could be helpful if you know the draw on liquidity. So see how this down close candle before this move higher, giant move higher, was right here. This is going to be a high probability OB, right? You get what I'm saying, right? Anytime before it's a giant move higher and it's on the same side of the curve, this is a high probability OB, right? We tap that, bang. And so the important part is understanding the context and the liquidity. But anyway, I'm going to go back to what I was doing. Yeah, so this is a Phoenix model, right? Because we have previous week's low SMT, and we have a 15-minute rejection block. And so we can take this as well as a Phoenix mini, meaning instead of entering right at the rejection block, we're saying we're only going to take this trade if we hit the consequent encroachment of the rejection block. That's the only way I'm going to take this. That's basically what you're saying, right? You say, I'm only going to take this if we hit consequent encroachment of this rejection block. And so now you get double the RR. And then now we go up to those low resistance highs. And now this is 10 to 1, right? So it's a very specific SMT, very specific rejection block, entering at consequent encroachment to target this LRLR in initial consolidation. So, kind of cool. So here we go, Phoenix Mini. Let's go ahead and save this. Phoenix Mini. Once again, it can be kind of scary to soup this, right? So I like to wait for lower time frame, aligned time frame change to delivery. And I'll show you exactly how you can do that. So this is 11:30 on Tuesday. 11:30. Phoenix Mini. And once again on the 15-minute. So where is the, I'm gonna rename this because I don't know why I don't need the whole. I'm just gonna be Phoenix. So it's crazy because I could just go through the week and there's infinite, like I could do this full week back test for like, I don't know, like there's infinite examples within a week. It's crazy. There's so much opportunity. Thanks. Actually, I'm in a learning state right now. I'm learning about daily bias. Can you tell me one thing? What should focus on more? Liquidity sweep, supply demand indicator. What do you suggest for daily bias? Okay. We'll take a look at daily bias real quick, right? For daily bias, you're gonna be wanting to pay attention to daily candles and what they're respecting, right? The daily candles are gonna tell you so much. So, or even the 4-hour candles, right? And even the 1-hour candles. What PD arrays? What gaps are we respecting? So when I see, for instance, when I see this 4-hour gap here. It's a reclaimed gap. We use it 3 times, right? We sweep liquidity into it 4 times. When I see us use this gap once, it's actually a BPR, right? 4-hour BPR. This, by the way, whenever we sweep liquidity more than once within a gap, it's a stronger, like this is more likely to hold. Actually, I thought it was the other way around, but actually, no. The more times we sweep liquidity within a gap, it kind of makes that higher probability. So you see how these candles close back up within this range? That gives me bias to say, okay, like this would give me daily bias to say, okay, we're probably going to draw back up into this range, right? See how these candles wick below the lows and then we close higher? And then also same here, like let's look at an example with daily candles, right? See how the daily candle wicked below and then closed higher? That's telling me that these next daily candles should continue higher. And then let's see. Like, see how this daily candle respects this gap? And then this one respects this gap. That tells me the next candle is probably going to keep going up. Same with 1-hour candles, right? The way 1-hour candles close tells you a lot. See how this 1-hour candle closes back up? It's going to tell us, okay, we're probably going to draw back up to the other side. This 1-hour candle swept out the high and closed down. Good chance we draw down to the other side of the candle. See what I'm saying? So I'm going to go back to what we were looking at. I'm going to mark up that reclaimed for value up again, though, in a second. Okay, wait. Yeah, anyway, okay. Here we go. So, once again, 15-minute rejection block. It's higher probability because it comes with a sweep of liquidity and an SMT, and it's not just any sweep of liquidity and SMT. It's a previous week's low, sweep, and SMT. So, we already showed how the consequent encroachment of this rejection block was even better trade than the regular. So once again, here's the regular trade, which is, you guys don't know what Phoenix model is. It is essentially when you have a rejection block that sweeps liquidity with SMT, just enter at that rejection block, and that is it, right? And you can get these crazy high IRR trades. But another way you can do this is you can enter at consequent encroachment, and then you get double the RR. And this is gonna be, this is gonna be twice the RR every single time, and half the risk. Kind of cool, right? So that's a Phoenix Mini where you enter at consequent encroachment. And so anyway, then I have a version of it where I like to wait for lower time frame confirmation. So this is a 15-minute key level, 15-minute rejection block. So I like to wait for a 1-minute change in state of delivery. So we drop down lower time frame. Bang. Back this over. Bang. Bang. 1-minute confirmation occurs right here. Once again, 15-minute rejection block. This is a high probability rejection block because it comes with previous week's low SMT. Yo, what up, Javier? This is actually pretty sweet, dude. The trade I'm looking at right now. I think this would be stupidly high probability, and this is actually how you could get in on the move. This is how you could capture the entire weekly range. Actually, I'll show you what I mean. So this is this rejection block. This is a 15-minute rejection block. It's very, very specific because it's a previous week's low sweep and a previous week's low SMT. So this is a really high probability rejection block because it sweeps liquidity and comes with the SMT. Not just any liquidity in SMT, but previous week's low, sweep, and SMT. So it is very specific. How many years have I been trading? I've been trading for 2 years and 1 month. So, but man, trust me, it feels like it's been 10 years, dude. It feels like it's been 10 years because I literally watch the market and review the market every single day, and I don't know. I've gone crazy. Like, genuinely gone crazy. But I'm not giving up. I'm never giving up. I'll take trading to the grave, dude. I don't care. I know this is it's obvious it's algorithmic. It's so obvious. So anyway, 1-minute change in state delivery. Yeah, once again, why is the high probability rejection block? Because we sweep liquidity with SMT. 1-minute change in state is the aligned time frame. And look at that. We just expand off of that. And you could even enter on that one, and that would be kind of scary. I would never do that, but you could do that. And look at how we perfectly backtest the Jake Trades at OT, the sniper model entry. To the grave, bro. To the grave. I'm never quitting trading. Like, I don't care how long it takes, dude. I will still show up. I'm going to be showing up every single day, dude. Because these markets, they're perfect. They're algorithmic. The only thing stopping me is myself. It is my own skill. It's my own skill issue. It's not that these markets are, it's not that, stop blaming the market, guys. The market's perfect. Smart money controls the market, meaning the best traders in the world have the greatest edge in the markets, meaning they have the most money, meaning they have the most control. Common sense. I'm never giving up, dude. Never giving up. Okay, anyway. This is so perfect. Look at this. 1-minute change of state. 4th standard deviation, 8th standard deviation. Once again. Whoops, I need to switch this to the... What? Why didn't it save my new template that I made? What? I made a new template the other day and it didn't save it. Okay, we're gonna update the template because I wanna. I don't know. I'm mad now. I'm mad that it didn't save it because I'm wanting to have it show 16. I want it to have it show 32. So then when you do catch these low of the week type trades, obviously it's not realistic for us now, but in the future world where we're really good traders, we can leave runners for 16, 32, and 64. And I'm not there yet, but I am saying since we know we're catching low of the week, we might as well leave runners to go target those things. So here, look. 16. Yeah, we don't go quite up to... We don't quite go up there, but still, right? Still. Okay, I forgot to save this as a template, so let's go ahead and save this as standard deviations pro, SDev Pro number 5. Once again, standard deviations, they really mean nothing besides just places you could take profit. You could literally mark, you could do Fibonacci low, you could do whatever you want. It's just marking out places to take profit. But what matters is liquidity. So if there's a good liquidity pool that lines with the third, I'll take profit that third instead of the fourth. Makes sense, right? Standard deviations actually mean nothing. They actually mean nothing besides like, here's a spot you could take profit, now pair it with liquidity and make it make sense. Pair it with an actual place where there's going to be stop losses and use common sense. But the standard deviations itself are just, they're basically just an outline to give you an idea. But you got to pair it with the actual highs and lows in the market. For instance, in this case, I could measure out this consolidation and say, okay, where's the liquidity? Here? Bang. Well, that's actually a bad example. We might need to measure this whole thing out. Yeah. We hit that fourth standard deviation, but then we continue through. So, okay. Back to what I was saying. So, 15-minute rejection block. It's a very specific rejection block. It is the rejection block that took previous week's low with previous week's low S&T. So, it's hard to deny how specific this rejection block is. So, 1 minute change of state aligns with a 15-minute rejection block. Once again, you could just enter at consequent encroachment, but to me, that can be kind of scary because I like waiting for lower time frame confirmation. And you can see when we do wait for lower time frame confirmation, you can see how precise this actually really ends up being, right? 1 minute change of state ends up delivering us way higher. So, and then look at this. We backtest the sniper model perfectly. Sniper model, bang. So sniper entry right here. And then, yeah, we go all the way up. Let's just say let's just be realistic, say we targeted like the fourth standard deviation or something. Let's say we took profit all through here. Oh, that's a 4R right there. Bang. Now, I probably wouldn't target this. I'd probably target here, but still, right? And look how perfectly we react there. Bang. So what's a sniper model entry? It's basically OTE of the manipulation leg of the market maker model. And it's going to be very, very precise. So, up to that fourth. So let's go ahead and save this. This is a flow state Phoenix because we're taking a Phoenix model and we're waiting for a line time frame change to delivery. So let's go ahead and screenshot that. So this is at 12:25. Might take a break in just a second. This is on Tuesday, 12:25. Flow state, Phoenix, 15-minute rejection block. Once again, it's a very specific rejection block. It's the rejection block that took previous week's low with SMT with previous week's low. And then a 1-minute change in state retest. And this is at 12:25. 15-minute rejection block, 1-minute change in state. Let's also show how we could do the sniper model off of this, just for fun, right? If we did the sniper model off of this would be 14 to 1. So 12:10, 12:10, sniper, 15 minute, 1 minute. So, yeah, I might take a break real quick. Yeah. Well, let's see how many people are watching, and then, yeah, I'll go take a break. And these are too big. Make them, these need to be smaller. I want more room for NQ. Dang, there's 7 of you guys watching. That's a lot. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take a quick break, get some water, go on a walk, and then I'll come back. So, all right, we're back. Alright, I'm back. I'm gonna try and be a little more chill now because I feel like I always get so... What's the word? I don't know. I get so passionate for no reason. Just out of nowhere, I was get so passionate and like start yelling and stuff. But in reality, it's not that serious. I just need to relax and chill. Dude, Stagnator, dude, I haven't seen you in forever. What's up, man? It's good to see you. But yeah, anyway, just keep looking at the week. There's so much to review, so much opportunity all the time. It's just up to us to go into the market and observe and learn from it. So, okay. So yeah, anyway, that's how you could catch low of the week, right? Because it's a very specific low, previous week's low S&T. We have a rejection block that took previous week's low. And you're basically just saying, okay, I'm going to wait for an aligned time frame off of our key level. So it's a 15-minute key level. What aligns with the 15-minute? A 1-minute change day delivery. Yeah, bro, I trade live, but, not perfect. That's for sure. But I try my best. I still trade live. Dude, you used to watch me trade live back in December. I remember. Let's take a look at Wednesday. I know it's kind of random, but let's take a look at Wednesday. So, I think, you have a few questions? Yeah, for sure. What's up, bro? It's kind of random, but I like Wednesday a lot because it's very obvious. We have a 15-minute key level. 15-minute fair value gap. I'm going to mark it out like this. Yeah, I know you, bro. I know you. I remember you from back a long time ago. In December. But yeah, 15-minute fair value gap. Let's drag this down. And I can already tell that this is just going to be really obvious AMD. Now, guys, one thing we can do is we can use our true opens as a draw on liquidity. And I'm realizing this now. Can I give you one of my strategies which can make your entries too good? Yes, dude, of course. I'm always down to hear some sauce. But yeah, you can actually use these true week opens as a draw on liquidity. Usama. Seems familiar, but your name seems really familiar. Maybe if you remind me. Maybe if you remind me. And the cool thing about Monday at 18 o'clock is it's the true week open, but it's also always going to be a new day opening gap every single time. It has to be by default. Wait a second. Okay, so this is a weird day because it was a half day, so the indicator is not recognizing it as a new day opening gap, but it's always a new day opening gap, right? The indicator just doesn't realize it's a half day. Anyway, 15-minute for value gap. You can use Monday 18 o'clock as a draw on liquidity. I'm the person who shares max leverage profits on your Discord. Yeah, I remember your crypto gains, right? I think I remember you, yeah. That's cool, man. So yeah, you can use true opens as a draw on liquidity. This was on Wednesday. I'm gonna draw back up there. Bro, how do you enter on low time frames? You gotta basically you take your higher time frame trade. Colton. Wherever you would enter on the higher time frame, okay, cool. Now you know exactly your bias because you already have the higher time frame trade mapped out. Now you drop down to the lower time frame after you would have already entered on the higher time frame and take another model on the lower time frame in that same direction. And then it's just gonna be even more precise. That's how. Just wait for your entry on the higher time frame, drop down the lower time frame, find your entry on the lower time frame. That's how. Okay, so like how do you deal with noise and how do you know what time frame to drop to? Once again, if you know that your entry is already valid on the higher time frame, you know the bias. Now you just wait for lower time frame confirmation and go quick break even. That's how. Well, I have a high accuracy indicator. If you're interested, then tell me. Yeah, bro, I'm interested. Monday, 18 o'clock here. So this was on Wednesday. Let's put this in Wednesday. Here's my folder for Wednesday, September 3rd. You can use true opens as a draw on liquidity. Pretty cool, right? So pretty clearly, this was accumulation, manipulation into our 15-minute PD array, which was a 15-minute gap, and then distribution. Bro, on that, I can decide how many trades you take each day. Probably in between 1 to 3 trades, max 3. I don't usually take 3. In between 1 and 3. Paid indicator. Bro, I'm not buying it unless it's the best indicator in the entire world. I'm probably not gonna buy it, dude. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. What was I looking at? Oh yeah, accumulation. So here are time levels, right? 7:30. Oops. 7:30 is right here. 9:30 is right at the same exact spot. Dude, look at how we manipulate midnight. Oh my gosh. No, because that's crazy. That is crazy. Guys, if you don't think midnight and time levels are helpful or relevant, you're tripping, dude. Look at how perfectly we manipulate midnight. I mean, this is just gonna be amazing especially because we probably got SMT with this low. Man, guys, I don't know. If you don't think time levels are helpful, you're tripping, dude. You're tripping. Anyway, 7:30. So I like 7:30 a lot because that's the true open for quarterly theory. Like, bro, I know everything I see has to provide, but I can't connect together to a strategy. I'm really confused. Yeah, dude, it's not easy. Like, I wish I could just be like, oh yeah, no, there's a simple solution, but no. This crap is not simple. It is it's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it. And I mean, some people like to say that it is simple, but even the simple strategies require a really good understanding of which versions of that strategy are going to work. Like an inverse or value gap. Not all inverse or value gaps are going to work. Inverse or value gaps are a very good, simple strategy, but you have to know when they're going to work and when they're not going to work. And that takes screen time and experience. And so even the simple strategies that a lot of people use to make print money, they're only simple to an extent because you got to be able to understand when they're going to work and when they're not going to work. So yeah, 730. That's not easy, bro. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Whoa, wait a second. I'm not going to lie. I remember ICT talked about this one time, and I was just kind of like, yeah, whatever, that's not that helpful. But okay, I was wrong. Look at this. This is an old previous week's low. It's support and resistance, bro. This crap is support and resistance. The crap? No, because what? No, I just learned this just now. You guys just watched me learn this on stream. Old previous week's lows are support and resist. Old previous week's... What? Bro. Nah, this is crazy. This is crazy. I'm screenshotting this. I'm putting this on Saturday for the folder on Saturday. That's crazy. So use this as a confluence, guys. If an old previous week's low ends up bottom ticking price, use it as a confluence for your trade. Old previous week's low, bottom ticked price. Use old previous week's highs and previous week's lows and previous day's highs and previous day's lows as support and resistance. Crazy. You need to look at the market as quant. Look at them and then how they build their algos. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I don't know what you mean by quant. But if you want to show me, feel free, bro. I'm always down to learn more. What up, Demrix? Dude, good to see you. It's been a while. And vice versa. Resistance can be a support. Dang, Javier. You're like, yeah, I already knew that, bro. I've known that for a while. That's crazy. I'm just now learning that. How do you deal with backtesting like a strategy and it gives you some losses? Like I said, dude, it's not easy. Like, it's not easy. It's just not. And I hate to be the guy that says, oh, like, you know, people have been telling you this whole time, like, oh, just buy this course or buy this and it's going to be this easy and you're going to turn profitable in like a month. And it's like, no, you're trying to do the hardest thing in the world. I mean, come on. There's no easy way. You're trying to do the hardest thing in the world. Accept that. Either A, decide you want to do something else, right? Because trading is really one of the hardest things in the world. You're literally competing against the smartest people in the world. Or B, lock in. Lock in like you've never locked in before because it's the most rewarding skill on the entire planet, bro. But yeah, how do you deal with it? You journal. Write down the loss, write down what happened, and what you can, what could have been better about it, right? And then you go into the market the next time, and you have a little bit of a tweaked mental repertoire of why that one that happened in the past didn't work. That's how you deal with losses. You journal. That's how. Tell me what's your stop. This is not a trade right now. I'm just mapping out Wednesday right now. I don't know what you mean by what's my stop. Okay, so we can see 7:30 was the true session open. We manipulate it. Let's see if we had S&T here. Wow, look at that. S&T at the low right here. I'm looking for if there's another S&T here. Oh yeah, wait. That's pretty cool, guys. Look at this. S&T with YM with this low. And ooh, you know what this is? I'm gonna make a new template for this because I think it's important. But I think it's 6-hour S&T, and I'm realizing now that that's actually really important. Okay, yeah. So this low right here. This is the low, 144. Let's zoom out here. So 130. Yeah, see how we have S&T with that low? So once again, let's draw these out as quarters, right? 0, 6, and 12, right? This is S&T with a 6-hour low, so London low. So this is a, you know, it's a higher probability S&T. So I'm gonna mark this out as London 6-hour S&T. Okay. Once again, guys, do what makes sense according to your own backtesting. For me, I do actually think that these S&Ts between quarters are higher probability S&Ts, so I use them. So we get S&T with this London low into this 15-hour gap. Then at this point, right, we need to frame our trade. What's a possible trade we could take? Well, we have a 15-minute gap. Then, but if there's no 100% strategy, then why don't leave with the losses? What is being profitable? Because it confuses with time. And why is IC Trader? Everyone IC Trader. You don't need to trade ES and then Q. You can trade literally anything. ICT concepts work on everything. So it's just NQ and ES are the most liquid and the most universal. That's really why. If there's no 100% strategy, why not leave with the losses? Yeah, I mean, once again, there are a lot of people traders that see it that way. But you know, I see it as you always want to learn. You always want to learn from your losses. So anytime I take a loss, I personally see the market as there's always something to learn whenever you lose. So okay, so this is London S&T 6-hour. We dip down into this 15-minute gap, so you can kind of see everything starting to form here, right? We had accumulation. Here's 7:30. And then we draw, let's see here. So where's the most obvious 1-minute change in state? For me, the most obvious one occurs here. Whoops. So 1-minute change in state right there. Bro, check my buying entry level on gold. I can't check right now. But I bet it's pretty good. Okay, so look at this. So there's multiple different versions of this 1-minute change in state. Pick whichever one you want, right? I kind of like the higher one, but that's not as good high RR. So I guess maybe the lower one. So let's mark it as the lower one. And yeah, so 15-minute gap, 1-minute change in state. And look right here, right? We end up getting S&T with this low into my sniper model entry, right? OTE of the manipulation leg. That's crazy. That is crazy. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty cool. So if I see all of this, by the way, like if I see all of this before my trade, I have pretty high confidence we're gonna be drawing higher at this point. So 1 minute change in state. And yeah, if you put stop at the low, that ends up working out fine. Easier said than done, though. I don't know. I don't know how easy this trade would be, but let's just mark it, right? And then I'd probably target. Yeah, you could target. What this looks kind of like a data wick, so I'd definitely consider targeting this, right? Once again, guys, I get very passionate for no reason, and then yeah, then I just get chill again. So Monday, 18 o'clock, there we go. We draw up to that data wick. And yeah, let's just mark this out as a regular trade, right? So 15-minute gap, 1 minute change in state. Bang. Pretty cool. Nah, it's kind of scary. I don't know if I would take that, but just a thought. Oh, you know what else this is? I remember this day. This was a 2022 model as well. So this is a 10-12 flow state. Let's go put this in the right day. 10-12 flow state. Retest. 15-minute, 1 minute. But the other thing I was going to say is notice how this is a 2022 model as well, right? Because it's a 2022 gap right here. Wow, that's so perfect. And why is this a 2022 gap? Because look away sweep. Alright, we sweep these lows. I guess you can mark this out as a sweep. So sweep. Sweep. Break a structure here, also here. Whichever you want to do, right? So break, just say it was right here. Once again, you don't need break a structure for 2022 model. You just need displacement. So I don't know. Here's fine too, right? I don't know though. This kind of looks nice. And then we can measure this leg, this displacement leg from discount to premium. That's a gap within discount. And yeah, so it's a 1 minute 2022 gap. We can actually take this 1 minute 2022 gap. We can, since this is already an entry on the higher time frame, we could align this with a 5 second. Oh wait. No way. Is this the first percent for value gap? No, it's not. Okay, this one is. Anyway. Enter at the retest. Stop at the low. 4-1 off of the 2022 gap. So yeah, liquidity sweep, break of structure. Retracement back to equilibrium. And then there's the 2022 gap in discount. Let's go ahead and screenshot this. So this is 2022 model 1012 on the 1 minute. 2022 model 1 minute. Save. Once again, we can align this with the 5 second. And I call this the 2022 plus model because we're waiting for lower time frame confirmation off of our 2022 gap, which since the 1 minute, it's a 1 minute 2022 gap, I'm aligning it with the 5 second. So let's go all the way back. Bro, I'm getting kind of tired again. I don't know why. Dang, guys. I'm at 1,298 subs. That's crazy. You guys are so nice. Genuinely. That's awesome. There's 8 still watching. I would never guess that because you guys are so quiet. You guys are so stupidly quiet. Bro, how do you like jump through time frames like not to zoom in too much but enough? Wait, what do you mean? How do you jump through time frames not to zoom in? Oh, you just, like I said, like you wait for the higher time frame model to be framed, and then where you would normally enter on the higher time frame, you simply take that entry you don't enter, jump down to the lower time frame, and wait for aligned time frame confirmation. That is all I'm doing. Can we come to live stream? Yes, obviously. You're here right now. What do you mean, can you come to the live stream? What do you, you're here. You're watching the live right now. You mean like my live trading sessions? Yeah, of course. But understand, I'm just a trader and learning, and I'm still trying to get better. And I'm not perfect. Okay, let's just go to the 15 second and find 15 second confirmation. Okay, here it is. So, I mean, with you over voice, how can we come to live stream with you over voice? I'm not gonna lie, I'm so confused, dude. I don't know what you're saying. But yeah, I'm assuming this is probably 5 second change in state here. So let's just pretend that it was, because I don't know, because I can't drop down to that time frame. But 1 minute gap, right? So now this was already an entry on the 1 minute. So now we're waiting for the 5 second to confirm, and then here you can see the 5 second probably ended up confirming like here or something like that. Since we're on the 15 second, we can't really see it. Like in a Google, oh, can we come? Oh, can you come and meet? Oh, I mean, we could do a Discord call. I guess anytime in the Discord in my Discord server, right? I have a voice channel. If you ever want to go in there, I guess we could. But yeah, I mean, typically, I don't know. I don't normally, but I guess we could. I get what you're saying. Yeah. So I'm basically saying I'm assuming there's somewhere in here there's probably a 5 second change in state. And then I call this the 2022 plus because we're just waiting for confirmation on the lower time frame. And then this is going to be like a void here. I'm not treating this as a gap, I'm treating this as a void. And then we expand higher. So bang, liquidity void, wait for line time from confirmation, and then we enter here. So somewhere within here, I'm assuming there's, and then we could just 5-second change in state, and then we could just target once again the high. That's crazy. So 2022 plus model right here. Obviously, you scale out. This is my personal trading style is scaling and trailing, right? I never do all or nothing, so I be taking partials all through there. So 10-15, 2022 plus. Here, I'll show you guys how I'm notating this. 10-15, 2022 plus, 1 minute, 2022 gap, aligning with the 5-second. And there was SMT there too. But I'm not going to go mark that out again. We already know that. Okay. Yeah, I really did not review Wednesday that much, huh? Yeah, we're below 730. Let's clean this up a little bit. Let's see, what other trades could we take within here? Okay, why is this here and why is this here? I don't want either of those. Yo, what up, Ayush Docs? How are you, bro? Guys, look at how perfectly we manipulate midnight. I mean, like I said earlier, you can't tell me with a straight face that midnight and time levels are not helpful because we perfectly manipulate this. I mean, this is so obvious that these time levels are helpful, guys. I don't know why other people don't use them, right? Oh, whoops. Then we manipulate 830 there. Once again, time levels helpful. Okay. Then we continue higher up here. Oh, one thing I'm curious about. I'm actually so curious now. Sorry guys, I'm going on a little bit of a tangent here, but I have to check because I'm so curious. So what I'm checking is I checked this on the other day on a different chart. Okay, 922. So here's the 922. True open. And then 945. What I'm wondering is if this was a sequential SMT. 07, 947, 1007. Anyway, I was just wondering if that... Sorry, guys. I just went on a little tangent in my head. I was just wondering if that was going to be a 22-minute SMT, but it wasn't obvious. What strategy do I trade? I just answered this. Dude, I trade literally just... I trade liquidity, right? I target highs and lows in the market, and I use 104 entries. Chain state delivery, inverse value gap, 2022 for value gap, or flow state model. And I target all the highs, lows, and consolidations. And because at the end of the day, all the market is pairing orders. So providing liquidity. And if you can conceptualize that, it really doesn't matter how you enter. So that's it. That's my strategy. Let's see. This is a 5 minute. Look at this. We swept out these lows, and we had a 5 minute gap here. So maybe there was a 5 minute, 30-second trade. No obvious 30-second change of state. Kind of want to just move on. Thanks, Penny. I appreciate it. I'm glad it was helpful. Yeah, we're just what are we doing, right? Where someone else is getting stopped out, there needs to be an order to provide the liquidity for them getting stopped out, right? Profitable trading at its core, this is what institutions do. They provide liquidity for the people who are losing money. They're providing liquidity for people who get stopped out. That's essentially like all trading is managing your risk, but targeting old highs and lows and consolidations, and then providing extra liquidity for a different market participant. That's all trading is, right? And institutions don't want you to know that, but that is the truth. And I could do swing trades. There's nothing against it, but I just don't right now. But maybe in the future, when I don't know. There's no reason not to. You could do all trading is the same. Swing trading, it's all liquidity. Swing trading, day trading, scalping, micro scalping, it's all liquidity. It's all highs and lows. So I could do swing trades. There's no reason not to, but it's all just liquidity. Okay. Yeah, let's just clear everything out now. I gotta find more. I guess, guys, sorry, I have to blow my nose. I'll be right back. Dang, guys, we're at $12.99. So close to $13.00. That's crazy. All right, guys, what should we look at now? We could look at this retracement on Wednesday, see if we could have gotten in on that. I guess that was in the afternoon. I kind of want to look at morning trades. Man, Wednesday, it feels like it should have been easy because it's like, oh, wow, obviously this is accumulation, manipulation, distribution. But I don't know. It's not always that easy. Let's just mark this out one more time. There's got to be an easier way to get it on the day, right? There's got to be an easier way. Because it's just very obviously AMD. But the problem is, if you try and enter too early, not all highs and lows are created equal. I use strat, pray, Epic, you're so funny, bro. Just the praying strat is always the praying strat, dude. It's literally just it's unbeatable. You just pray and then boom, TP hit. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you basically not all highs and lows are created equal. There's highs and lows that are better, like I said. Like I've made videos on with session highs and lows and stuff, but at the end of the day, right, you just got to target hang on. You just got to target what makes sense in the context of where the market's drawing to. So, but yeah, all types of highs and lows. Some of them, certain ones are higher probability than others. Yeah, because you would think, like, I don't know, you would kind of think that this 1 minute change in state. What strategy are you? Oh my gosh, can someone just answer him? Because I swear I try and explain this to everyone, and then someone else asks in like 2 seconds. This 1 minute change in state of delivery actually is pretty clean. 15-minute gap. My strategy, I explained it 3 times already, but essentially it's not a strategy. It's just targeting old highs and lows in the market and using one of 4 entry models to target those old highs and lows. FA, the praying strat. FA strat is the market makers call FA directly, and FA gets the information before everyone else, and they basically say, yo, FA, dude, we're going to send the market to the 2355 sell side liquidity, and then FA full ports, and then the market makers and FA all make money. And then that's FA. That's FA strategy. Oh my gosh. I don't know. FA, if you guys don't know who FA is, that's Martwick Bratic, and he's a legend, dude. He literally made 100K, I think, in one day. 100K in one day. Right, FA? Didn't you make 100K in one day? That was so crazy, dude. It's true. Dude. Oh my, bro. I don't know, man. I literally, he's insane. 1 minute change state delivery off this 15-minute gap here. This one's a good 1-to-1 trade. This is a good 1-to-1. I'm not even gonna lie. It's just a simple 1-to-1. I probably enter on a little bit of a retest. Muretic Bratic. That's his name. He goes by FA in the Discord server. FA, you're insane, dude. And then he's got like people from the UAE who are trying to basically say like, well, we want you to manage our money. Here's a couple $1 million. Manage our money for us, please. Look at this, bro. Oh my. We're gonna have to scroll back pretty far, FA. I have a picture on my phone. Look at this. Hang on. I'm trying to find the picture. Oh my gosh. Which group chat did I put it in? Dude, FA, you're the GOAT, bro. You might actually be the GOAT of trading. What? Sorry, guys. I'm just looking for this screenshot. Almost there. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I don't even know. Okay, I can't find it right now, but there's a screenshot. If you scroll back in the Discord far enough, FA's screenshot's in here somewhere. So I'm not gonna pull it up right now. It's gonna take too long. This is a good little micro stealth here. I don't know. We don't continue higher here, and that's kind of lame. But you'd probably be at break even at this point. So. You sent it? You sent it to me? You sent the latest big one? Where? In the Discord? Everyone's asking FA for signals. Are you asking me for signals? Oh, FA just sent it. Look at this. Oh my FA, you. Oh my gosh, yeah. FA, he'll just randomly be like, okay, I'm logging now. Oh my gosh, you're crazy, dude. Yeah, I think this one. It's okay. It's a nice 1-to-1, but I don't past that. You probably, I don't know. It's not anything crazy. Trading floor. Look at this. Go to my Discord and join trading floor. FA just sent it. All right. Okay. This is a good 1-to-1. This is one where if you just want to be lazy and you just want to make good money without having to put in much work, hit a 1-to-1 and be done. We should look for some more inverse or value gaps. Cause I don't know, inverse or value gaps, man. They're nice. They are very nice, and they're simple. 10:01 flow state retest. It's a flow state retest, right? Yeah. 15-minute gap. 1 minute change in state. And I'm just not putting stop loss at the actual low, which is whatever, right? Okay, let's look around more. Oh, there's this trade. This is actually so fire. Sotep took this one. Sotep took this one where, yeah, this was clean, where essentially we are back all the way up at these highs, and then we just take an inversion back to the downside to go back to this range. So like this. Let's see if there was a higher time frame gap. There was, but you'd be front running it. Let's see if we're delivering from anything, right? We sweep out all these. Oh, look at this, dude. This is just so obvious, so simple. Sweep of all these highs, delivering from a BPR. Wow. Okay, this is so nice. Wow. Delivery from a BPR. We sweep out all these highs. Yeah, the Discord link's in my description. Sir, do you have any suggestion for me what to learn? I'm trading for 2 years and still unprofitable. Dude, trading's hard, dude. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Trading's hard. Just keep showing up every day and keep learning and keep journaling. There's no other way around it. You just got to keep showing up. There's no solution besides just keep showing up and keep learning and keep getting better. That's literally it. Alright, so once again, this is a giant liquidity pool. So we could target this and then just very simple liquidity sweep, delivery from a BPR, and then inverse or value gap, and then the rest is history. Once we'd be front running a 15-minute gap, but I think that's okay. Once again, front running is sometimes okay if you have conviction in the front running of the higher time frame gap. It just depends. It just depends on liquidity. This is very obvious liquidity pool, so I'd be okay with that. Once again, trading's not black and white, guys. As much as we want to be like, oh yeah, this is it's super mechanical and you have to do this and that and this. No, guys, it's not. And if it was, then everyone would be profitable. But it's not. People who try and pattern trade mechanically are gonna get wrecked over and over again. Anytime I see like a pattern trade, a traded looking IFG, I usually try and fade it, to be honest, because if it's a super simple, obvious pattern trade looking IFG and it doesn't make sense in the context of liquidity, I know that there's going to be good liquidity on the opposite side of the inverse or value gap, right? So BPR, liquidity sweep, inverse or value gap. I'm curious if there's SMT. Yeah, look at this. There's SMT with this high. What about with this high? There's double SMTs That's crazy, right? See why this is so powerful. Right? S&T here. S&T with Asia high. S&T Asia high, Liquidity sweep, and then we also have S&T with YM with that high. But yeah, this is very simple trade, and Sotep took this. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. You could have even targeted further. You could have targeted the range lows, like right here, and yeah, you would have been an open drawdown, but eventually you would have hit. All right, it's kind of cool. I like to try and take the trade. Yep, plan your trade, trade your plan, and stick to that plan. It's hard. I mean, it's easy, but it's hard. It's hard. Easier said than done, right? All right, there's a nice inverse value gap. 11.15. Guys, I might end the stream temporarily. Might go to the gym and then maybe do a part 2 of this tonight, and then maybe a part 3 tomorrow. Honestly, I kind of thinking about doing that. So 11:15. IPG. Yeah, I'm kind of getting a little tired, so I might just go to the gym right now, and then I'll probably come back later tonight and do a part 2, and then I'll do a part 3 tomorrow. And yeah, I'm obsessed. What can I say, guys? I'm obsessed. So 11:15 inverse value gap, 5 minute. Oh, and we're front running. We're front running the 15 minute. We're front running the 15 minute. Okay. Saving it. Okay, guys, I'm going to end the stream here and probably do part 2 later tonight. I'm going to go to the gym, part 3 tomorrow, and then once Monday starts, guys, we're locking back in. Hopefully, let's have a good week, and probably get a new Top Step account, and then I'll also be trading my personal account from now on. So, hope you guys enjoyed this live stream, and let's lock in this week, guys. We'll see you guys. If you guys decide to come to the next 2 streams, feel free, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.